Mutteri doesn't have a traditional capture card. It appears to have a camera pointed at the screen. And when he was playing through earlier, it was a little laggy. So we're gonna do our best here with his capture to commentate, but it's gonna be a little tough to pick up on the finer movements with the setup that's going on here.
Let's hope for the best. GrandPOObear seems to be on Japanese version, meanwhile Mutteri is on English version. The difference is just the text being faster on Japanese version by 15 seconds against English. And funnily enough, Chinese text is just 5 seconds behind of Japanese text.
There was a while there where everybody thought that simplified Chinese was the fastest way to play.
Yeah, and a fun fact, Chinese text actually saves time in the beginning of the run, but in the end of the run, towards the end, I mean, Japanese text saves time even more, which is
really weird. Where does the Chinese save time compared to the Japanese text?
I'm not sure. The amount of text that is in the beginning of the run probably affects the Chinese text, but in the end, the Japanese brings over 5 seconds, around 5 seconds. And here we are. Rolling is one of the fastest movement in a game. You will be seeing it a lot, like GrandPOObear and Mutteri doing it through the slopes.
Yeah, Mario took a page out of Sonic's notebook right here.
Long jump is one of the. Long jump is actually good move in this game, even though it reduces all of your speed you have gained from the rolling. You will be seeing in some places where the runners are doing the long jump instead of rolling, because the rolling actually will cause you to bonk really easily.
Yeah, rolling's really fast, but it can be really risky. No, 100%.
And GrandPOObear is starting his boss fight with the Topper, or Green Brutal, should I say.
And Mutteri not too far behind, so hopefully, I really wonder where the big separation is going to be in here. With a big difference in the PBs like there is, you got to assume that there's going to be at some point. Well, it looks like he actually did. He get hit? Yeah, no. He hit Topper. That's where the coins came from.
Yeah,
he's getting out of this hacking him fairly quick for someone with the time that's, 128.
Yeah, it seems so. If you take damage and you grab a moon, you will be losing time because the moon is gonna refill your health. So you want to avoid taking damage. Good though is that there's a checkpoint flag in the beginning of the cascade. If you have taken damage, you can take a checkpoint and refill your health before the first moon. But I don't think both of the runners survived without taking damage.
Yeah, I think they both went damage just there. Who now starting off Cascade. This is gonna I know for a while he was going for some interesting strats with the Dino Skip where he would fall on top of the rocks instead of coming from the side as you see most players do. So hopefully I would like to see some interesting Dino Skip tournament business going on. I want to see what he pulls off.
I'm interested to see it too. Let's see how he's gonna do it.
I think he might have come over to our side with the approaching from the side recently, but time will tell.
Dino Skip is coming off. There's a trampoline underneath the rocks, and that's what you're gonna use for the skip. Oh boy.
Oh, I think you know what? That was really nice by him, actually. He adjusted his dinosaur speed. Oh no! Unfortunately, he doesn't get the skip, but honestly, landing on the pad the way he did was very impressive. Oh, and Mutteri actually went with the Dino Skip from above and landed it first time.
Yeah, and GrandPOObear just got it. I feel like they're a little bit behind. I might be wrong. They're both in a gold jump right now?
Yes. Yeah, my internet has been relatively unreliable lately. We've had a couple snowstorms. I'm in Canada, so it's sometimes not the most reliable.
I can see that. Both of the runners succeeding fine with the fight. There is some really neat strats going on with the gold jump, where you can just like drop Cappy nearby the jump on the jump's head, then use the motion controls for Cappy to take off the hat,
yeah,
jump, then retrove the Cappy immediately to jump.
It's so interesting because once you see the strat, it makes so much sense. You know, it's so intuitive. But before I saw other runners doing it, you know, placing Cappy down, getting the jump, and then having Cappy come back to you, triggering the first hit on the gold chomp, I never really thought about it. You know, I was just same old, you know, step on him, throw your hat twice. That was my plan. That was what I was doing. But the hat stall has a lot of potential for actually a lot of tricks like that. Have you seen? You might even be doing it. The new strat in Bowser Kingdom to grab the what's it called? To grab the one moon right behind the first area with the Pokios.
That's behind the big wall, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing that. It's actually, it makes sense why we never talked about this. Then it just came out and we have started to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The motion controls really gives you lots of benefits for doing that.
You know, I'm actually pretty excited to see these runners so close together so early in the run.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
I thought Cascade would shove them apart a bit more, but Pooh missing that dino skip gave enough time for Mutteri to actually gain a little bit of a time advantage. And now we're going into sand where, I don't know, man, anything can happen because I know Pooh is going to want to go for that sand clip. He wants to show off for the people, you know?
I'm hoping he will go for it. Sand Kingdom is one of the kingdoms that has like thousands of millions of routes. Like in the beginning of the game, speedrunning the game, should I say, there were route changes like every day. You will just walk up and, oh, there's a new sand route. Then tomorrow, oh, another route, and so on. Unfortunately for past week, there hasn't been that many route changes, other than Sphinx Clip being added. GrandPOOBear taking the employers only.
Oh.
Interesting.
I think he's going for safety then. Because if he's going employers only, then he probably isn't going to need that extra moon that you would get from doing both the quicksand and the Sphinx at the same time with the clip.
I think you are right. Sand Kingdom needing 16 moons, then you can head over to next kingdom. Though the thing with the Odyssey game is that no matter how many moons you get overall in any kingdom, you need to get that certain amount of moons in that specific kingdom you have to get. For example, in Sand Kingdom right now you need 16, then in upcoming stage, Lake Kingdom or Wooded, you would need 8 moons or 16 moons to get to the next stage.
Yeah, and that's the important thing about it. You can't grab, you can't get 18 moons in sand and then get 6 moons in the next one. It has to be from the kingdom that you're currently in. So there's kind of like a counter for each kingdom, which makes it interesting.
Definitely makes it interesting.
Pooh getting on top of that pillar relatively effortlessly, making it look easy. And then Mutteri's going to be going for the same jump right now. So again, these players are really close together, but it looks like, I don't know if Mutteri went for the employees only. He is I think one moon down compared to where Pooh is, but he's actually having a little bit of trouble on that ice pillar.
I think he has the same amount of moons like Pooh had.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
But he might have gotten the bird instead of the employees only. Unless I have misgotten moons too. Who's gonna take the checkpoint? There is a really nice way to get back to bullet bill from the checkpoint. As he took that, I assume he's gonna take the luggage moon, which is he's gonna go to next, and he is gonna port back the flag he just took.
I really love that triple jump to get back into the bullet bill. Something about the idea, another thing like that seems so, it's so simple when you see it, but you never think of it ahead of time. Like recapturing the same bullet bill, like that's something I never really thought of until I saw someone else doing it.
Yeah, there's like lots of things you just don't know about until you see someone doing it. And I wonder how many things there is that we still don't know about.
I'm sure it's it's still a pretty new game, so we're gonna be finding more stuff for a while.
That's what I was going to say. The game is relatively new. GrandPOObear, the Pooh is gonna go for the really rough trick here. Let's see, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. Nice one. If you manage to not get the wall jump, the result is gonna be a 30. You cannot save yourself from that spot. After you release yourself from the transformation, from a bullet bill or just any, you cannot you cannot do the cap jump anymore, nor you cannot do the cap jump if you have done the wall jump. So you have to keep that in your mind. Mutteri taking the Sphinx and getting the coins, and as there's a Sphinx, the coins, we should talk about that too. The rot difference.
Yeah, good point. So with the Sphinx room, you get enough coins to not have to worry about coins for pretty much the rest of the run. But if you don't do the Sphinx, you have to keep a really tight eye on your coins. There are two parts where you have to buy moons, sorry. And that's in Wooded Kingdom, which is going to be coming up 2 from now, right after Lake. And then again in Snow Kingdom, which is near the end. So you got to make up enough coins by that point to have enough to purchase that, which can be a little tough when you're, going through the speed run. So who's going to have to keep an active eye on what his coin counter is? And assuming he does typical strategies in Lost where you take a death to warp back to the Odyssey, that's another 10 coins he'll lose. So he essentially needs to make up 98 coins until then.
That is right. A moon to buy a moon, it costs you 100 coins, and you need just 200 coins overall in a whole run. There used to be an old route where you did a slot machine in a luncheon, which is not done anymore, and that cost you 10 coins just to attempt it once. Pooh not taking the Sphinx, so he has to take the coins in other way, meanwhile being in the kingdoms.
See, it'll be nice and easy if he goes seaside before he goes snow. That usually resolves any issues that, not doing Sphinx has. It's one extra spot where when you're selecting the kingdoms, you got to make sure like you don't accidentally press the A button before you switch the selection. That's pretty much all it boils down to for this, because you get, I'm going to say 40 coins that are just effortless in seaside.
That is about right. During the seaside, there is one part that just gives you enough coins to survive, or should I say survive, but just enough coins to not worry about the coin counts anymore.
Oh, I was just seeing GrandPOOBear with that zipper right over there. That looked like he was he was feeling the stress a little bit in that one.
Yeah, that looked a little bit scary. Luckily, the Cappy can be really handy with the motion controls.
Yeah, the motion controls make it really like nice and consistent a lot more often.
Lake Kingdom right now for Pooh, it's one of the shortest kingdoms in a game.
Yeah, we were talking a lot about routing changes. Lake Kingdom has not seen routing changes for a long time. There isn't really much depth to this kingdom. There's 5 moons you grab nice and quickly before you get to the boss fight, and then you do the quick boss fight.
That is correct. Most of the kingdoms, if you haven't bring peace to the kingdom, you won't unlock all of the moons. And to bring the peace to the kingdom, you have to get the Molten Moon, which GrandPOObear is gonna get now. Most of the kingdom moons are unlocked by bringing back the peace. And in the most during the whole run, I think this is the only kingdom where you bring peace back, excluding Lost, which doesn't have a peace actually. You just beat it once.
Yeah. Yeah, because every other kingdom, it's, you know, world peace is nice. We're not gonna say we don't want world peace, but there's so many cutscenes, takes so much extra time. You know, the world can figure it out for themselves. We got to go rescue a princess.
That is correct. She's gonna get married by the scary guy. Pooh finished with the lake. Meanwhile, Mutteri is a little bit behind by a few moons. Taking the moon from the Lapras. I still call that Lapras.
That's fair. It's honestly, it's I feel like it's closer to a Lapras than anything else I can think of.
Yoshi Lapras.
I love how, just like the dolphins in Super Mario World, the Lapras wears goggles.
I think I haven't played Yoshi World, whichever game you were saying.
Super Mario World, you know, the one for Super Nintendo, yeah.
Yeah.
You've played it.
I played it.
And Mutteri getting right up to the boss fight, nice and easy. Pretty smooth lake there, section there for him. But the boss fight is where trouble can sometimes happen. It's already starting off a little bit where he's going for the jump on top and opting not to try and use the hat. At this point, use the hat, right?
Yeah, definitely use the hat.
It gives you a nice platform. It's easy to get. He stands still when you use it. It just makes your life a lot easier by doing so. And yeah, we even had a death right there for Mutteri on that first attempt.
Rango, the yellow Brutal, is not that easy boss actually.
He's not. No, I was just about to bring that up. He's probably one of the more stressful ones to try and, you know, quick kill.
Yeah, I think with Topper and Rango, they are definitely the toughest one. Constantly. And as chat has been asking, what is Mutteri's PB? It is 1 hour 28 minutes and 10 seconds. Meanwhile, GrandPOOBear is sitting in a leaderboard speed 1 hour 12 minutes and something. I think it was 6 seconds.
Yeah, 1:12.6. So the difference in PB between these guys is pretty huge. Where Pooh's got to be feeling pretty safe, but at the same time, even when you're in these races, I was actually we were commentating a race last night. I was asking and I want to hear your thoughts about it too. When you're racing, do you ever look at the other racers?
I personally don't want to look at my racers, so otherwise it will bring me a little bit more pressure, as I have the pressure on when I'm racing, but it gets better when I get further in a game and I know that I have gotten this far. And especially, I will feel confident if I keep getting the hard tricks I've been doing in a speedrunners before.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I don't want to look at my opponents either. And I feel like most people don't try to look at their opponents. But with that being said, when you're not looking at your opponents, like I'm assuming these races are doing, they don't know, you know, what's going on with the other guy. Right now, Pooh's having a few areas where he's having a bit of struggles, mess ups, what have you. And that's got to be, you know, causing a little bit of pressure for him internally, not being able to see if he actually is ahead or not. He has to just assume, with the performance I've been putting on so far, am I maintaining a good pace?
Yeah, and especially if you start messing up, it will give you a little bit more pressure, and you're probably thinking, where is my opponent? I cannot just check it. Should I check it? Those are sometimes the thoughts in your mind as a racer.
Yeah, the best thing to do, man, it's just go as hard as you can, as fast as you can, and try and pick yourself up if you have any of those those moments where you start just having, you know, a bit of a rough race.
Definitely, and it's not a shame to go for the easy strats. I mean,
no, we were talking about it yesterday like that too. I think more people need to realize that for races, easy strats, I'm not even going to call them easy strats. I'm going to call them consistent strats, because that's what I feel like you need out of them, consistency.
Yeah, the consistent strats is like, there's no shame to do it in a tournament setting.
Where you cannot reset, where resetting would only hurt you. Yeah, there's absolutely no shame in going for the vine bridge instead of the rail jump that you can go for here, you know?
The triple jump, yeah. It's a really neat trick.
I would love to see it, don't get me wrong. I hope he goes for it. I don't think he will, though.
He is gonna go for it.
Oh!
And he gets it. Very nice.
Wow!
Dude. Now that is like, if you mess it up, you're not gonna fall off to the deep woods. There is an area in the whole Wooded Kingdom that is deep woods. But at the area where the bull was, he wouldn't have been worrying about getting to the deep woods, since he would have died and then respawned next to the moon then and try it again if he wanted to.
Luckily enough, you don't you don't spawn too far away from everything that's happening over here.
Yeah, definitely.
But so any death still is gonna feel bad, you know.
Yeah, a death would have been feel bad if he died. He would have lost those 10 coins and. Maybe those.
That's another good point. Yeah. With not going Sphinx, the coin count really is something you have to constantly think about.
Definitely. Losing 10 coins just from a dead all the time. That will hurt it eventually.
That uproot part can be so tricky sometimes. Getting out of the tower with the stretch as soon as your head is outside.
Definitely. I want to bring a good point in a GrandPOObear spike. If he takes the hearts that are in the rocks, he will be getting 5 coins for
an additional 5 coins per heart. Yeah, that's when you skip Sphinx. Usually you want to use your first turn hitting Spewart and the time between him like getting back to the center. You want to use that time to throw your hat at the rocks on the outside of the ring to break open the rocks, and then on the second go around. The coins, like, they land on the same spot that the previous coins were, so you only need to circle him once. At that point, you grab the heart and the coins, getting yourself 5 more coins, and like we're talking about consistently here, every coin does matter at this point for POOBear deciding not to go for any sort of Sphinx, whether it be clip or just going in normally.
Yeah, and though if Pooh would have taken damage, he wouldn't have gotten the coins though. Mutteri taking the safety route. Not a problem in a tournament setting. Yeah.
I think the time save between using this bridge and otherwise is like what? 2-3 seconds, something like that?
It's probably a little bit more. I would say over 5 seconds.
Over 5?
Yeah, it doesn't sound much, but it can add up.
I thought it was way less than that.
It can add up if there's more tricks like that.
No, 5 is a huge amount of time. 5 seconds is massive. Alright, so POOBear is going to be heading over and getting into, I believe, Cloud Kingdom next, going for the Bowser fight. Now, there's some new-ish strats to quick grab the hat. Do you think we're going to be seeing any of that out of POOBear?
I'm not sure is he gonna go for any of those strats. I assume he will try it, but he was trying it, but the problem probably was that he didn't jump, so he wouldn't have gotten the captain from the Bowser.
Right there, he just tried to get an early hit on the first one. Didn't get it, and I think he realizes that he wants to go for what's safer again. The race safe strats. Because there's nothing more disheartening than when you see a racer who really wants a trick to work and they'll go for it over. Oh, he is going for it again. Gets it on the outside, so still good.
Yeah. Taking damage is intentionally is a good part about this strat, just the bruises too. Though the problem he probably had that I think he mistimed the captive, so if he managed to time it right, he would have grabbed the hat instantly and just punched it to the Bowser.
But all said and done, a relatively smooth Bowser. Not too shabby. The first hat miss gave him an extra jump, which was a little bit of a time loss, but other than that, he's doing just fine right now. But now he's got to go handle one of the scariest kingdoms. I feel like the next 15 minutes of the run in itself are for Pooh Bear right now are just like scary inherently. You know, you have so many jumps that can ruin your run. Places that if you were alone, you would be resetting.
Yeah, Lost Kingdom and Metro Kingdom are not that easy kingdoms, especially Lost. Like
you made that tree look easy though, right there. That was clean.
Yeah, that 3 jump is not easy, guys. You have to get the triple jump, and there's, fortunately enough, there's many other ways to do that 3 jump too. Like, for example, standing in the bottom of the tree, and you will throw the gappy towards the end of the tree, and use the gappy there to get the hate, and use the gappy one more time to get the another gap jump, which he is doing right now. You can do that from the tree.
Yeah.
If he dies anywhere in a Lost Kingdom, he has to start over next to the Odyssey, which is really bad, as in a speedruns you don't want to take any checkpoints.
Yeah, so why don't you explain for everybody real quick the reason that you have to go next to that bird, because it looked like he went a little bit out of his way to go next to it, but there is a reason.
There is a reason that it triggers the Klepto if you go underneath it. There's the whole area underneath Klepto, which I will be telling soon what is like a Klepto trigger. If he ground pounded there and just anywhere around here where Pooh is, it would have triggered Klepto, taking the hat and losing so much time just to go back to Klepto and get it back, get the gappy back. Very nice deadless strat for the last move. By triggering the Klepto, you have to go next to it like Pooh did when it was sitting on the tree. And it's a long cutscene also to watch it.
Yeah, if you get your hat stolen, that's like a minute you're losing. Like
yeah.
Easily. It's ridiculously long.
It is a long cutscene.
You gotta get your hat back after that too. There's no like, you know, you can't take a death and now your hat's back or something like that.
Mutteri a little bit messing up with the Bowser bite.
Yeah, you can see that Bowser just called his hat back. If you don't get to him with the hat soon enough, Bowser will actually just take it back.
I gotta note though, Bowser's hat hitbox is huge. Like,
oh yeah,
it's huge. You have to be a little bit far if you want to do the fast strats with the Bowser bike. So he's not gonna jump away like he was doing.
Yeah, because even when you have the hat coming to you, before the hat is on you, Bowser can steal it away, so...
Mutteri is starting with the Lost Kingdom,
meanwhile Pooh is going for the Dark Side Metro, one of the scariest parts of the run. There's so many jumps here that just get so scary, followed by, in my opinion, the worst boss fight in the game.
Oh, Mecha Wiggler.
Mecha Wiggler.
Mutteri, I need to note that Mutteri is doing the old route of the Lost Kingdom.
Oh, did he step on the rock first?
He's doing from the... He went from the cage.
Yes. So he's going to be going into the cave then.
He's actually not going, which is rather interesting. The faster move would have been the moon in the cave with the flowers. But I assume he doesn't feel comfortable at doing that moon, or especially jumping up all of the mountain and get to it. And
yeah,
Pooh with the nice city hall. Let's see.
Yeah, he's doing really well in this Dark Side Metro so far. All he's got after this is going to be the jump of faith.
That jump is rough, I have to say. If you mess it up, you fall all the way down. And you have to start over. And right here, Mutteri, if he falls down anywhere and lands on the ground, that will steal the hat. So right now, he just triggered the Klepto, went next to it, and now he's gonna continue the rest of the kingdom. without pouring a Fortnite Electro. Boo is in a Mecha Pickler fight, and as the second cycle is coming up, you wanna talk about that? What's so hard about this?
Yeah. So this fight, the reason it's so bad is that it has a strange mix of motion control, aiming, and a little bit of RNG, on top of the fact that for the final part of this fight, in order to actually get out of it, you want to do it in the fewest amount of cycles. So the Wiggler is going to come out, and it's going to have, just some sporadic movement, and you have to shoot each one of its segments and explode it to get, to make it vulnerable. Now the issue is that sometimes when he's moving, he will overlap some of his pieces with the other ones, rendering it impossible to actually hit multiple pieces if one of them happens to already be hit. Because when you shoot a piece that is already when you shoot a piece that's still vulnerable, it will cause an area of effect damage, hit the nearest pieces. But if you hit a piece that is already have been triggered, it will not hit and do any area of effect. So you have to have really precise aim when you're going for the single ball that is still available. Who ended up taking the 3 cycle on this one because of, well, pretty much that exact same thing. And it's, we're playing a platforming game. No one here was expecting to have to do some first-person shooter business.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I still have my theory that the Mecha Pickler might not have the RNG that we are thinking. It's probably because of those bullets that it's shooting, the white bullets when it spawns. If you shoot them all down, I think he stops way sooner then. But I might be wrong. I would like to test out that theory, actually. Mutteri is in a... Well, he's really in a dark metro. Right
yeah,
now.
I was gonna say, I can't see anything.
Me too. And Boo is starting with the day metro. Alright, here's the question. Is he gonna do it?
Gonna go for the RC car skip? I don't know. I don't know if he's confident enough with it yet.
Oh! Are we gonna do it?
Oh.
That's just wrong. The skip itself, if you don't get it first try, I wouldn't recommend to try it again, because especially in a tournament setting, having the pressure on at the same time, you might not get it then. It's somewhat precise, should I say. Oh, that was actually really interesting RC car movement.
Oh, he has really cool RC car movement. I like it. It hugs the left wall to do the turnaround, and then he's facing forward, so it's like it operates like a regular car, and you get an idea. I remember when he first started doing that RC car strat, it was just the coolest looking. He was showing off about it, popping off.
That's very nice. Though I should bring back about the RC skip. The funny thing about that, you need to use the motion controls, but you have to tilt your controller 90 degrees, like sideways. You have to tilt it all the way sideways. Then you hold left in that specific moment towards the ball, and which, if done correctly, you will grab the moon then.
Yeah, Mario somehow manages to lean far enough through the wall to actually grab the moon without being inside, which is just crazy, man. I didn't even know that tilting did anything on the scooter until that trick got discovered.
Yeah, and it's not even mentioned when you are on a scooter. It's weird why it's not mentioned. There's always that hidden motion controls added in an enemy or so.
Mm-hmm.
Boo drop down. Oh, that's a rough situation. A tip for the Boo though, if he watches this again, you can just drop down and there's the electric fire you can take to get back up.
Instead he's gonna go for the warp.
Mutteri is getting to the city hall. Let's see how he is doing it. This is one of the locations where most of the people's runs were dying, as it is one of the hardest.
Yeah, I've fallen down this tower during a race. It doesn't feel good, man.
It doesn't feel good at all, as you have to climb up again.
It's funny too, because no matter how much you practice it, it's a lot of. This is one of those tricks that I feel is also just like a lot kind of like your nerves, right? It's not too hard to do that long jump at the end, but if you're nervous, you're gonna mess it up. You gotta have confidence in yourself when you're going for it.
Yeah, it's.
He's having trouble getting up these poles right now, Mutsuri.
Yeah, I feel like if you can't jump and you want to hit the pole, Mario just doesn't want to grab the pole. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting the moon. I wonder, is he gonna do the long jump? Is he brave enough to do it? And he gets it. Very nice.
Very well played.
Meanwhile, Pooh is talking to Pauline as a jumpman, should I say? To trigger the Musicans.
And getting everybody's favorite moon coming up right after this. We got Yao, but Otep is waiting just a little bit ways away.
I still prefer Yao.
I don't know, man. The Otep is magical, but the Yao is definitely a a force of its own.
Exactly. What do you think that machine part is, by the way?
I feel like it's like a single ball from the Wiggler that kind of like was ready to operate on its own. If it was like before it became a Mecha Wiggler, there was just a bunch of small little pieces that were like mecha spiders living on their own, and then they all started like connecting and becoming one big long monster.
That sounds correct. Who is done with Night, should I say? No. With a Metro Kingdom. Meanwhile, Mutteri is in a Wiggler bike. Did he got the two-cycle?
Yeah, it looks like he did.
That's very nicely done.
All right. So Pooh's coin count, I actually haven't seen. If he goes to snow right now, depending on the current way of things. Oh, no, he did make the change. He is heading over to Seaside, going to the beach before heading up north. I like the strategy. It's going to make for... I think there's 20 or so coins in the cheap hallway. And there's going to be another few coins you can grab during some other particular parts of the Seaside Kingdom. He's going to be able to get enough to feel comfortable for snow now. It's such a simple solution to the amount of coins for snow. Just don't go there first. But it's one of those things that sometimes just don't remember.
Yeah, he has 82 coins, so he would have had a little bit rough time to get the coins before going to the shop in a Snow Kingdom. So Seaside first, not a bad idea, should I say. Meanwhile, Mutteri is gonna go for the RC car.
Oh, isn't it the worst when you kind of just catch the side of the cage like that, too? He got in there really quick, though. That didn't take him very long after getting the first little bit.
Yeah, it's rough when you just don't get the feeling. When you don't turn right way how you would like to. And Mutteri, I'm not sure what kind of route this is. Probably one of the oldest routes.
Yeah, I'm a little... I don't really understand where he's going for right now. Oh, you know what? When it was nighttime, he actually didn't get the Girder Sandwich Moon, so I think he's going for that now.
Yeah, it seems like.
Interesting. Yeah. See, doing this at nighttime saves you the... It's a great idea because if you go here at nighttime, you save the... It's an easy moon, but it's out of the way. There's nothing else during daytime Metro that heads over here, so you kind of get that easy moon out of the way, and you don't have to come back there at all. And considering that he just went over there now, the only difference is in nighttime Metro, that orange pole that shoots you up the building isn't there. So if you don't know how to do the climb without the orange pole, that's what I would say is the only reason you would skip that girder. But even so, there's other ways to approach that segment.
Yeah, that's a good point to pull it out, as the kingdom changes a lot anytime you take a multi-moon.
You're gonna have to forgive me for just a second, Samurai Man, but I'll have to be right back. I'll be here in like 2 minutes.
Alright. So let's see, who is doing the shortcut moon? And this is the place where you will be getting those coins that will save your life in a Snow Kingdom. And by saving your life, just making it much easier to buy the moon. If you don't have enough coins at all in a Snow Kingdom, then there will be backup moons where you will be going to that room with the moon shards, take that moon and take the secret moon in a chest, and that those will be your backup moons if you don't just have enough coins. But right now GrandPOOBear has enough coins, so he will be comfortable in a he probably feels comfortable to go to the snow now. Right now, in a lead is POOBear by almost a kingdom right now. Mutteri is still in a Metro Kingdom with 12 moons. And that room where Mutteri is can be sometimes a little bit funny when you're rolling through them. You might sometimes hit the wall, and sometimes there has been a couple of the clips I've seen that you're rolling through all of the humans, or should I say dongers, the humans in that area. Then when you're rolling through them, sometimes they will be pushing you towards left, and what's in the left in the end of the room, there's a pipe. Sometimes the big runners have been hitting that pipe. I've only seen a couple of the clips. It's just funny how it can happen sometimes. And now I have said it, it might happen sometimes to me. So let's see. POOBear is in a Snow Kingdom. Mutteri is still finding the moons, and there is a couple of the moons in a city, in the top of the buildings. He's taking the trash cans. Take out the trash is the moon name. I just saw it on a Mutteri's stream. The question is, how did they got that there? That's a question I will never get an answer, I think. He indeed has a webcam pointed to his TV. No capture card, unfortunately, for MutteriX. Very nice triple jump to ball jumps from a POOBear. And now he's gonna go to buy the moon. Funnily enough, with this shop, you can be like almost nearby the entrance and just talk to the owner, or seller, should I say. I'm not sure.
Right, and I wasn't gonna leave you alone for too long. I'm back, man. Welcome
back.
Oh, just in time for our second OTEP too. Perfect. Did he? What does the metro look like?
It has been interesting. He's been having trouble a little bit to get to the trash box with the moon.
Uh-huh.
And I have to ask you, how did they got it there?
Pardon? Oh, how did they get up there? I gotta assume they, you know, the people of New Donk City are very sophisticated. They take out their trash with drones, actually. So they keep it up in the sky to make sure that, you know, the smell is not really annoying anyone walking around.
That is a good point.
That's my own personal hypothesis.
Now, as Pooh has taken the shop moon, he doesn't have to worry about the coins anymore for the rest of the run.
Yeah, stress-free now. Once he got into Seaside with over 80, At that point he must have felt pretty safe because the ones in the cheap cave are pretty much unavoidable.
Yeah.
Oh, and that one spiny being a butthead, not falling off.
Those spinies. I have to say, they're really scary when they just walk towards you. They walk towards you and they're not stopping until they hit you. It's scary. In a Sand Kingdom, we were talking about the Sphinx clip. There is actually a clip here in a Snow Kingdom, but unfortunately that clip is not so useful as taking the multi-moon in a Snow Kingdom takes so much time.
Yeah. It's not useful, at least it's not useful in any percent, but if this was World Peace or 503 potentially, the skip could be really useful because I mean, for World Peace, just like it sounds, you have to do that. And for 503, you know, we were talking about it earlier, but as you do unlock World Peace and beat the game, you unlock a lot more moons and a lot more areas, giving you nicer routing options for the second time that you have to return to an area.
That is correct. As there's a blizzard right now outside of Shiberia, or Snow Kingdom, should I say. Bringing the beast back will just unlock most of the moons outside of Shiberia.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them. There's a lot of moons you can get.
In a darker side speedrun or 503, you will be visiting Snow Kingdom again.
So right now, Pooh is heading over to get the last moon in snow and then move right on to Luncheon Kingdom, which is another one of those kingdoms that's... I feel like Lunch and Sand are two of the most fun kingdoms to be a commentator for, to be racing for, because there's so many different routing changes that can happen between racers. There's so many, you know, high-stress jumps in that area. Is there anything you're expecting out of Pooh? Anything you're excited to see here?
I'm excited to see Pooh's decision with the hat room. Is he gonna go for the magma room or the pork room?
Ooh, okay. I actually... All right, so Pooh's my dude. I have a bit of an idea. I've been, you know, chatting strats with him. I know which room he's going to be going to here, but let's go. Give me your guess. Do you think he's Forks or Potaboo?
I'm hoping for Forks.
You're hoping Forks? All right, all right. Well, you're about to find out. We're heading to lunch right now.
Luncheon is one of the longest kingdoms as well. With Metro Kingdom, it's the second longest kingdom. You need 18 moons, and there's a couple of the... Here's the funny thing, though. The trigger for the meat at the end of the kingdom, where you both get the multi-moon then, and finish the kingdom in 80%, the meat is not active until you have got the story moons, which is the beating the Spoobird again, then taking the cheese under the rock. The cheese under the rock, or something like that with the Hammer Bros.
Yeah, the cheese. Oh, man. I actually didn't know that the meat wasn't active until then. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was tested out a few times, and it was found out that you can skip the Spoobird, but it's unfortunate that the meat is only active until you have gotten those 2 moons.
Interesting. Yeah, so that makes... And the meat is... If it, like, there's probably enough moons that you don't have to do the meat, but it's 3 free moons right beside each other. Well, in a single moon, actually. It's just so simple and so quick. You don't want to have any reason to skip the meat. Just like in Wooded Kingdom, you know, you don't want to skip the spirit fight. A lot of the time, you're trying to avoid cutscenes and everything, but at the same time, if a cutscene is going to get you 3 moons, it's relatively worth it.
Yep. Not sure what happened with the MutteriX stream. I hope it's not lagging too much.
Yeah, hopefully his internet can stabilize here.
So I was mentioning earlier, if you remember in beginning of the run. If you take damage, then you grab the moon, it will refill your health. How much time you lose from that? The amount of knockback you have to take in account, then 2.2 seconds, just from refilling your health from 2 hearts to 3 hearts.
Yeah,
so
man.
Potentially you might lose 3 to 4 seconds just for taking 1 hit. And that can add up if you keep taking damage. So taking damage is not a good thing sometimes, unless you have damage, a strat that requires taking damage.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, there's one strat where after the fork room, if you do the jumps in a clever enough way, utilizing. So I'm actually unsure if you've seen this yet, but when you're in the lava, you can actually utilize an extra cap bounce midair if you get hit by the lava. So what you do is you go and let's say you're above it, you do a 1 cap bounce, and then you throw your hat again, but instead of attempting to jump anywhere, because obviously it won't work, you only get 1, you actually do a stomp into the lava. And after that, it counts as ground, and it actually triggers another jump for you. So if you stomp into the lava and bounce off your hat, you get what is essentially two rounds of hat jumps past the big pool of lava, which can get you straight from the fork moon to the, I don't know what it's called, but you know the one on the top of the cliff, not too far away from where the cheese is.
Yeah, I know which one. And I've seen that strat before. Unfortunately, in a runs, I haven't seen anyone using it. I assume it can be too hard to pull it off. Or as taking damage can be bad. It's not great.
It's one of those situations where it is a situation where you're definitely forcing yourself to take damage. And then, you know, that kind of just takes up a little bit of extra time. If the movement saves more than 2 seconds, then it would be worth it.
Definitely. And it seems like
Boo's having a little bit of trouble here just navigating this mountain. Hopefully not going to get killed by that Goomba. Making his way up, yeah.
That is very nice.
And this is the very mountain I was just talking about.
Yeah, I think for the fork room, you said it's possible to get there. Might be possible, but I haven't seen it yet. Fun. And oh boy, the Hammer Pro, good RNG. The Hammer Pro, no idea what they were thinking, but the Hammer Pro has RNG that what object it's gonna hit next with the hammer.
Yeah, you can't predict that. The best way you can go about doing the Hammer Brother is getting close enough to the cheese where your tosses are gonna hit the one that you want it to hit before it has a chance to really deviate on the path with the RNG. Oh, I don't know what's happening, but I can finally see MutteriX stream again, and he is in Seaside Kingdom now.
He's in a beginning of the kingdom.
Well, there we go. All right, so we still have a race on our hands. I feel pretty safe for POOBear here, but it's always nice to have the other racer being able to compete regardless.
Exactly, the competition is nice. POOBear.
All right, and here's your answer. We got the Potable room. I really, for more than anything, I like the Potable room, just because of this jump that happens right here, where you dive from the top, you do the spin jump with the shake to land right on that small little platform in the middle. It gets me so excited.
Oh boy, that damage-less strat. The risky of that is what makes me excited too. Boo just took intentional damage there by leaving the lava bubble early.
Yeah.
So he didn't utilize the small platform.
And MutteriX grabbing a moon I haven't seen in a little while. The chests that are right behind the waterfall. So you probably are aware of this, but just in case, just for the people out there watching, fun little fact about those chests. In Jolly Roger Bay in Super Mario 64, there's a star where there are 4 chests laid out in the exact same way, and you actually have to hit these 4 chests in that little waterfall cave in the exact same order as the ones in Super Mario 64 to get the moon, which I thought was a really nice throwback.
Yeah, that was a nice throwback. When I saw that room first time, I was like hitting the wrong chest. Then I saw the order, and I was like, "Oh, Jolly Roger Bay, nice."
Yeah, there was a bunch of areas like that where they threw in just interesting little moons to be callbacks to Super Mario 64 more than any other game for sure. Did you see the one in Mushroom Kingdom in the castle? Have you won? You've probably 100% of the game right now, right?
I have 100% of the game.
Yeah.
And yes, I've seen that moon. That was, or should I say, as a spoiler, star?
Yeah, yeah, because because at that point they are stars. Oh, and Mutteri not going in the underwater cave here. Is that why he went into the behind the waterfall cave, you think? To avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is the right amount of moons left here.
Interesting decision there. I don't know. I don't know why he would, because it confuses me because I've seen routes that go for behind the treasure chest, and I've seen routes that, or sorry, behind the waterfall with the treasure chests, but I've never seen a route that skips that little tunnel because it's just so fast. It's so free.
Yeah, I think it's one of the probably safe route for him. Not sure why, but since there's nothing hard in a cave, or he just doesn't want the coins anymore, or he
just doesn't even want to touch them. Yeah, he's going for low coin percent at this point.
There might be lots of old routes he still wants to do. The game is relatively new, so there's still routes that are good for beginners.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually an important thing to note for people who want to get into running the game. I've had people talk to me about it. I've had, I've seen other people asking about it. You don't have to copy the world record strats just to run the game. There's tons of things you can do to make it a little easier and more consistent for yourself as a beginner and adapt your strategies as you get better.
Yeah, and eventually, as you're getting better, then you will start getting better routes to your arsenal.
And starting out with like something that may not be, the route that you see everyone do, it kind of gives you a sense of satisfaction, kind of planning it out on your own a little bit more.
And should I ask you, what was your thought in this boss fight that Pooh is having?
Man, the first time I saw it, I was excited and confused because it's so unfitting to anything we've ever seen pretty much as a Mario boss before. It's a photorealistic dragon that's breathing lightning. Like, that is no joke, But it was a pretty fun fight. But in the end of things, I don't know. For a dragon that gigantic and terrifying, I'd expect him to have a bit more moves. I get the sake for a video game, but you look at him and you're like, there's no way Mario should have won this fight.
Yeah, that's like my thought as well. But my first thought when I saw the dragon, I was like, Dark Souls?
Dark Souls?
This just turned to Dark Souls, man. What's going on?
Exactly. The Dark Souls boss. That's half of the people who run this game, their splits at this one will say Dark Souls.
And funny thing is that this kingdom's name is ruined. Mutteri having a little bit trouble with Squidward.
Yeah, didn't get the stomp on him and was throwing the hat at him to try and adjust his path, but sometimes it's just more useful to go straight for the jump on top of him instead.
Meanwhile, Pooh is heading to Bowser's kingdom. It's one of the toughest kingdom, if not the toughest kingdom in the whole run. There's 3 boss fights, lots of hard platforming.
Yeah, I love that there's such a nail biter of a level right at the end of the run.
I wonder what kind of strat he wants to go for here.
Oh no, he's abandoning the tried and true glory hole by getting the early behind the wall moon.
That is the newly discovered
Yeah, that one's only a few days old, I believe. That little trick right there.
Yeah, it's just a few days old.
Yeah,
basically,
and we've been talking about it all day, but that's another one of those, like, it's now that we see it, it's so simple, it makes so much sense, so intuitive. But before, no one really thought about doing a recapture on the bird to speed up the time on that moon.
Yeah, nobody was thinking about that.
And I thought GrandPOOBear here was the runner for the people, man. I guess he's too good for a glory hole, you know, too good to mess around with those glory holes. This guy.
Glory hole will be after the moon charge, which is the next section Pooh is heading to. There's a cutscene, and you have to also break the box nearby the wall with one of the
yeah, the Pokio.
The Pokio and
my personal favorite capture in this game.
It's lots of people's favorite. But as I was saying, the metal box you can only break it with the bomb, so you will need the Pokio. Then you would have to use the glory hole, and there's a cutscene at the end. So I'm not surprised it got replaced, unfortunately.
Oh, and he hopped out of the bird early. Luckily, the frantic spamming of the poke there did manage to go in the correct direction. And without even looking back at it, turning his back on not only the glory hole, but on you, the people.
Mutteri was doing the workroom. I'm surprised.
Oh, yes. So we got to see a Podoboo and a fork room this run. I always love when each runner does a different one. I find it interesting that he used the forks to get back. And he already grabbed the first moon, too. That's, both of those are pretty interesting.
That's one of those two rooms which Pooh and Mutteri just did. They're timed to be same speed, as far as I know. But if done optimally for the workrooms, the workrooms might be a second or two faster, but...
Yeah, I think the fork rooms have the potential to be a tiny, tiny bit faster if you're clever enough with your upward throwing.
Yeah, the upward throwing is the one that makes the workroom really hard.
Yeah. All right, so right now we have Pooh absolutely annihilating Topper. A fight that, despite its simple look, actually is pretty challenging. You have to get perfectly timed jumps onto those hats as they go, and you have to get it before it actually falls over and before they start spinning. Any small mess up during that fight can cost anywhere between 5 to 15 seconds. So that was a really nice go there for Pooh. And he's starting off Harriet, the bomb girl, really smoothly as well.
Yeah, and about Topper, if you mess up the timing with a jump, finding the right Topper, finding the right hat might be a little bit trouble, because you can hear the Topper underneath the hat. If you're close,
can we just point out how cool it is that Pooh knew exactly where Harriet was gonna go for each of those and just had his hat waiting for it to fall? That was really nice.
Yeah, it's actually a set pattern where the Harriet wants to go.
It is, yeah, yeah.
I would have liked a lot if they just made it that RNG. Unfortunately, it's the set pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And that is each of the Brutals actually has their own names. Green is Topper, purple is Harriet, which Pooh just defeated.
Yep.
Blue is Spoobert, and yellow is Rango.
Yeah. I like to call, I got like, you know, my special names for all of them. Spirit, I feel like, is the best name you could give a guy whose job is vomiting. So that one's great. But listen, man, Rango, that's not good enough for him. He's just like Kung Lao from Mortal Kombat, so we got to call him Boing Lao. He's got the hat with the spikes in it and everything. All right, Pooh's had some nice movement. Okay, I want to point out also that Pooh not only had good movement in every section of this Bowser Kingdom so far, aside from having a little bit of trouble on that original ogre, We know where your roots are, Ogre. But aside from that single part, everything has been very fast. The boss fights have been perfect. This is going to be a really high potential for a good split, assuming he, you know, doesn't have any troubles on this mech fight.
Mecha Brutal Bike is... It can be a drop for that one if you have a pressure on. There's a strat in the beginning of the bike where that's called Birdless. You don't use the Pokyo to get
We're seeing it right now too, so yeah.
Going
for the wall jump on the leg and right into the bonk, landing on the rim, able to get enough height to get up here and stomp on Spewart without ever getting a bird. And that kind of, you know, explains where that name comes from. But no, that was really good execution. Hopefully he's able to make it back on, but he doesn't! Oh no!
Oh, he messed up the timing.
You could see that with his second hat toss. He did delay a little bit. I think he was going for the... Ooh. I think he was going for the A press to try and get the little twirl when you can kind of air stall. But I think he messed it up and went into a bit of a panic. I do respect that he's switching to the bird now. You gotta know when to fold him, man. You gotta know when you're when you're in over your head.
Yeah, after the first hit, the Mecha Brutal starts moving, so it can be hard to get on the leg again and get up on the Mecha. So it's better to take the bird, even if it loses time. Dropping down in Mecha Brutal.
Pooh and I commentated a race yesterday where someone fell off the bird and actually got back on birdless, and I think that's kind of what inspired him for that attempt right there.
Very nice. Brutal. Mecha Brutal bike.
Yeah. Other than that early fall off, he got through that really quickly. And, you know, his other two boss fights in this kingdom were, I want to, you know, not to a T, but essentially perfect. So he's still got really good time on this Bowser's Kingdom. We're looking at, I think, somewhere around a 112, high 112, low 113 pace for Pooh here if he manages to pull off a good moon.
By looking at the timer, I would assume 113 will happen to him if he keeps up with his pace. Meanwhile, Mutteri finished with the luncheon and is in a Dark Souls kingdom.
Off to go fight that dragon.
What do you expect from the GrandPOOBear 2D shortcut?
I talked about this with him yesterday as his claim, his part of POOBear's rise to, you know, the top. He's a 2D Mario guy. You know, he's got his Mario 3, he's got his Super Mario World ROM hacks that he's always jammed on, and most importantly, he's a man who's played a lot of Mario Maker, and not even like, you know, just casual Mario Maker. Like, this is a guy who's crushed some of the hardest levels out there. Anyone who plays Mario Maker, I feel like has kind of owes it to themselves to go for the 2D skip. It's thrown at you in so many scenarios in that game, just when you're playing people's terrible levels, that like you're used to it, man. It's like it's child's play at this point. The 2D skip's not that hard, but it is a big risk for a tiny reward.
And that tiny reward is 2 seconds. If you mess it up, you lose close to 30 seconds. You're to dead, and you cannot do anything about it if you mess up the timing with that first jump.
I think 2D skip is one of my favorite things for the race, because it's just like, it shows that the player really wants to. I like doing it because I like peeking over at the speedrun chat when I'm in a race and seeing if anybody gets excited about it. You know, it's such a small thing, but with how big of a risk is attached, I feel like it adds a big layer of fun.
Yeah, in a tournament, are you ballsy enough to do this?
Exactly. Are you willing to throw away a potential win for this 2-second time save?
And Pooh is
lining up that moon skip.
The moon game skip. To get the skip work, there is a certain part of the ball where Pooh is gonna get to, about there, but he messed it up. He has to be a little bit more right, And if he doesn't get the first wall jump correctly, the second wall jump wouldn't work at all.
Yeah. So the whole logic behind the moon skip and the and wall jumps in general in Odyssey is with tools like the hat jump and all the different air stalling mechanics that there are in this game, Nintendo was clever enough to realize that people are gonna figure out infinite wall jumps to climb structures if they didn't kind of put some restrictions on it. So when you're jumping from wall to wall, you can only actually do these wall kicks if you're in a situation where you can where you have walls that are facing each other. Now, if a wall happens to be like 90 degrees from another wall, you also wouldn't be able to jump between those two. But because the moon's surface is so bumpy and strange, you actually... Oh, his hat didn't come back to him there. It wasn't on the actual top hat, and it didn't grab it on the way.
He probably missed the motion controls there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, but he does get the quick hit, though, so nicely. But yes, anyway, the whole reason moon skip works is because the wall protrudes enough that it tricks the game into thinking that the walls are facing each other from the angles that you hit those two sections that you jump from at.
Moon skip is also... It's the oldest skip in a game, I think.
Yeah, it was that was a day, I think day 1 or day 2 find. Dino skip also was a very early skip.
I would like to note for the Pooh, if the hat has hit you, for some reason the hitboxes, or should I say hurt boxes for the hats, are a lot bigger. So I wouldn't recommend to try to do the vast strat at all if you have taken damage from the Bowser's hats. It's weird though that the hurt boxes for the hats are just way smaller when Bowser is jumping and he screams before he screams, should I say, or yarn. Well, anyway. I messed up my talking there, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Now as you can see, Pooh is gonna... Right at this moment, the hats would have a way smaller hurt boxes. And now he just took the damage.
It's been a little bit of a rough Bowser fight for him. He's taken, I think, if it wasn't for these hearts being dropped out, I think he's taken, I don't know, probably four-ish hits from this Bowser so far.
Yeah, without those heart drops, he would have died already.
Can we talk about how how he's throwing in a punch or two after every one of Bowser's twirls just for the heck of it?
I think it's the motion controls. I do it sometimes by accident.
That's funny.
So let's see. Is he ballsy enough to do it?
Right now he's, I mean, you don't look at the other racers, but you obviously know your own time when you're in the race. He's 1:12.33 right now. He's already behind his PB. You gotta think that he's feeling a little bit on edge about it. I don't know how much he looked into his opponent. I don't know if he knows he has the PB, you know, the PB lead here. So the 2D skip might not be enough. Might not be enticing enough for him after that Bowser fight. I'm calling it, man. I don't think he's gonna do it. I don't think he's gonna do it.
At this point, if the right was dropped, he probably just wants to finish the run.
Yeah. He's not trying to take any more risks at this point. He wants to get out of there.
And in the end, it's everyone's favorite music, right?
Oh yeah, it makes me feel like I really am playing Sonic Adventure 2.
You can take the ball. There's two ways you can do this: by hitting the first pillar in the right side 4 times, or just break it completely. Then go left side and break the pillars that way. Then you will...
I hardly managed to hit it like 3 times, man. That right side pillar is hard to aim at with those Bowser fires.
Yeah, and to break the fire, you have to use the motion controls.
Yeah.
I don't think the game tells you about that. It just gives you the Bowser controls. Here we go. Here you are, Bowser. Just go. Run. Escape. It's an escape after all. Seems like we hit the pillar.
There we go, yeah. All right, so we're getting a sub 115 here, I would hope, at the end of this box break-in. And I don't know what's going on right now, but Mutteri has had a frozen feed for a little bit. But there we go. We got the 114.46 from GrandPOOBear.
Congratulations for GrandPOOBear.
And that was his last race of the groups. That's going to be putting him into the tournament seeding as well. So we're going to be seeing POOBear moving on in January. So round of applause. Get your claps in the chats. Absolutely nailed it.
As he has finished the group stage, he will be waiting for the tournament bracket, which starts on January 2nd, I believe.
All right, hopefully we can get him to come in for a quick little interview, because I want to ask him about a couple of those moves he had going on.
Hello.
The man himself.
Yeah, I don't know about the man with that run. That was yeah. That was one of those runs where you just do everything just poorly enough where you never actually reset, you know what I mean? Like it's
yeah, you had a lot of parts that would be you had a lot of would-be resets in that, man.
I had some good moments and a lot of like, oh no. It was a good race.
You didn't go for as soon as I saw you go employees only in sand, I knew that that had to be a little bit because of Dino Skip not going so well.
Yeah, it was 100% because Dino Skip didn't go well. Like when I missed the Dino, like if I would have got Dino Skip, I would have done clip. The other thing was I kind of knew the PB disparity here, and I wanted to kind of just get out to a solid lead. Like that was like really a goal. Like the first 2 or 3 levels, just get out to a solid lead, and then I could. I don't want to say play around, but you know, have some fun and not worry as much. So
that's probably why you were going for some of those more dangerous strats, like during the boss fights and everything. Because both Bowser fights, you did try to get those quick grabs a lot, and not too successfully.
Yeah, you know that thing where you do something in practice and you get it like 40 times in a row, and then you do it in a run and it just doesn't work. Like that was one of those situations. Like.
Pressure's a real thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just weird how it is. Like, speedrunning is a game of failure. So I think we can all agree on that.
I can though appreciate you for going for the food at 5 strat, the bosses at the end, and the RC car skip.
Yeah, I mean, I want to try it, like I keep selling it. I tell everyone, I tell my chat, like I'm a 109 player with 118 consistency, which I think was shown about today, like that's about to sum up my game right here in Mario Odyssey. So, and I mean, quite frankly, 114 is not going to get it done in the next round. I mean, like I'm happy to be able to move on. This is my last group stage. I'm happy to be able to move on from my group stage, but 114s that's going to be a big fat L in a month once we get to bracket play.
Yeah, the competition is going to be fierce.
Yeah, I'm gonna be kind of putting this down till after GDQ. So hopefully hopefully the whole route just changes by then, and I can just relearn everything. That's my hope, So
we'll be seeing is there any route changes within half a year, half a month. I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing. I don't think anything too big is coming, but.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of rooting for something, but yeah. Overall, I mean, happy to get out of group play. Stoked this tournament is going so well. Like, happy that people are enjoying it, and keep watching more of the Mario Odyssey tournament. I really like. That's all.
Yeah.
Happy. Yeah.
All right, man. Well raced, and congratulations on making it on.
All right. Thank you so much. You guys have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Congrats too. Have a good time.
Thanks.
All right, and for right now, I believe that is it for Super Mario Odyssey on the Speed Gaming channel for now. But tonight, there's actually going to be, in my opinion, this is going to be a really fun race to watch. So I wouldn't want to miss it if I were you guys. We have Bayleaf going up against IPK, two guys that I actually know personally, and I can tell you one thing, that IPK is getting pretty consistent with like somewhere around a 110, 111. So you're going to see good, fun gameplay out of him. But Bayleaf is actually like starting to push the 109s, 108s, and they kind of have like a friend rivalry going on here. You know, this is kind of like the episode where like Yugi and Joey get to, you know, have their own little duel. So it's going to be interesting. He actually has a couple fun plans for how he's going to bring out some interesting strats, and those are his words, against IPK. So that's definitely a race worth checking out tonight. And again, that's at 7:30 Eastern time on the Speed Gaming channel. Just Speed Gaming, not 3, not 4, not 2, just Speed Gaming. Samurai Man, you got any races coming up soon?
For myself, I don't have any races. I finished my group stages.
Oh, that's right. You only had 2 races. Yeah, I got all mine finished up as well.
So tomorrow is gonna be the race between 2 of my opponents I had, Crouch and Fire Dragon.
Oh,
I will be excited to see who is gonna.
I almost signed up to commentate that one last night. I was looking for more races to jump in on. It looks like Rox has it covered though. All right, well, this has been a lot of fun. I'm gonna get heading out, guys. Don't forget to check out the rest of the Super Mario Odyssey Any Percent tournament. For more details in the chat, you can type !SMO, I believe. I might be wrong on that, but if I am, whatever, doesn't matter. Other than that, stay tuned. January is when the tournament bracketed seeding is gonna start, and it's gonna be intense. And other than that, I'm Xwater. I hope you enjoyed the commentary and the race and everything here with Samurai Man, who is. I feel like we didn't even like bring it up at all, but Samurai Man, you're one of the top dogs of this game, dude.
Right now, at least, yes.
So what are you gonna be like? Are you pushing for anything like in the near future? Are you just gonna keep grinding that any percent to try and get that time down a little bit more? Are you moving categories? Like what's your current Odyssey goals?
Right now with the Odyssey, I would like to get just overall better and raise up the consistency, and of course. Meanwhile, having the PPs back in the mind, like I would like to get a better any percent time because the last race I had, oh, that Bowser's Kingdom, I still can't get over it. Oh, MutteriX is back.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Yeah, looks like he's on the mech fight right now. All right, I guess I'll stick around for a little bit longer so we can finish it off here with MutteriX.
Yeah, let's stay here for a while. With the MutteriX.
I thought his feet had just completely stopped there. Good catch.
Right now, as he's on this base, I want to note that yes, the Mecha Brutal starts falking after he hit the first Brutal. It does 3 steps, then he stops. Then the the Mecha stops and throws the bombs. And the Pokio. Then after 2 hits, it does the spinning animation and throws the cookies, I guess? The circle cookies?
Yeah, I call them donuts.
Donuts. Makes more sense.
Because they got the holes.
Then it does 5 steps and stops again. Then in the last
every round he goes up by 2 steps. Actually, no, he goes up to 8 in the final round. So 3, 5, then 8.
Oh, it's actually 8. I was thinking it's 7. Interestingly, he wants to do that. Well,
I don't think he's gonna get there in time though.
Oh, that's rough. When the Mecha Brutal is blinking white like that, it's gonna force Mario off from the Mecha.
Yeah.
The game
See, an interesting thing here too is that he didn't save the top Brutal for last. Harriet, the bomb girl. Normally you stomp on her on the top because he stomps around and moves around too sporadically and quickly to really be able to accurately hit one of the ones on the side there. Oh no, and he takes the death right underneath during the last phase.
That's rough. Yeah, you would always want to leave Harriet as the last Brutal to hit. Because as you saw, hitting the last Brutal that is on the side, it's possible but really hard.
Exactly, it's possible, but you're digging yourself in a hole if you don't just, you know, make that top one the final hit.
Funny enough, if you did a birdless strat in a mecha, you're always gonna hit the Spoobard first. And funnily enough, too, that if you don't use the birdless strat and use the bird, like MutteriX just did, it's always Spoobard.
Either way, he gets picked. I feel like he gets picked on more than any other Brutal in this whole run, man.
Yeah.
Cause you fight Bomb Girl only once. You fight Topper twice because you get him in Cab Kingdom. You fight Rango once, but I feel like you get more personal with Spewart. You know, you get to fight him in 2 separate worlds, and you don't see, like, here you see Topper and Harriet in the Bowser Kingdom in a boss rush, so I don't count that one as much. I feel like you meet up with Spewart you grab lunch together in the Luncheon Kingdom, you know, go for a quick little nature walk in Wooded. It's a real, like, intimate bond that these two form, Mario and Spewart.
Yeah. Also, quick note that how do we could, I actually didn't know how people just called them Harriet and Topper. If you go to the dark side of the moon, which is the post-game area, after you collect 250 moons, by checking the map, then the notes, there is actually a note about each of the Brutals, and it shows their names there.
I gotta apologize for just a second, Samurai Man, but my internet is being a little bit inconsistent right now. I'm going to need to restart my router real quick, but I'll be right back with you in a moment.
Alrighty. Mutteri is having a little bit trouble with the Mecha Brutal fight. There is a couple of the rocks where you can get the hearts and refill yourself. And using those sides, if anyone noticed, you can actually climb up with the Pokio. But that's only possible when the mecha is not moving, which here he's doing right now. Oh no, he missed the ground pound. And when he's getting those donuts, he has to get back on the mecha quickly before it starts moving like that. Now he's in a pretty tough spot. Oh. He still has 1 health, so he has to be really careful. Oh no, and he takes the death. At this point, it's really rough and not motivating to start over the whole fight. You have been messing up. Mecha Brutal is definitely one of the run killers. There's lots of areas and tricks that are run killers for most of the runners. He's been getting on the Mecha Brutal with the bird, though, fairly consistently. Still taking out the Harriet second. The order you like to have with the mecha is blue, yellow, or sorry, blue, green, yellow, then purple. That will be the order you would like to go with when you want to decide in which order you kill every Brutal. You always want to leave the purple last, as the MutteriX just took down the easiest Brutal to hit. It's really rough to hit the Brutals on the side of the mecha. Oh, he has to be careful. He has to get the hearts from the rocks. I think there's only 2 rocks you can take, which I probably said already. Let's see, is Mutteri getting... Oh, he just bonked his head to the... He bonked his head to the mecha head. Okay, he's up there, so let's see, he's gonna... get one of the Brutals. Oh, he mistimed it. Mecha was flashing white there, so he had to a little bit hurry it up before the mecha was going to force Mario off from the head. Just wait for the steps, then ground pound. Now it's just 1 hit left for him. I haven't seen this strat before where you stand below him and he's not stopping, he's not moving anywhere. Now he has a Pokyo, so he just had to get up on the mecha and get the last ground pound.
Alright, I'm back. And he's still fighting the Wiggler, eh? Or not the Wiggler, the mech.
Yeah, he's still in a mech. Having a little bit trouble to get on the mecha's head. At this point, if I haven't got the Mecha Brutal down with the ground pounds... Oh, he's getting it now. Nicely done.
There we go.
Normally he would have to break the leg, and that way the mecha will just fall off, and that's how you will defeat them normally.
Mm-hmm.
Boost time was 1 hour 14 something.
Yeah, 1:14, I think around 30 or 40-ish seconds. All right, and now from Mutteri, we're just gonna have the last little bit, the moon.
We forgot to mention about the Bowser Kingdom that why did they take those extra moons? You actually need 8 moons overall to get to the Moon Kingdom from Bowser's Kingdom. But the game is not telling that until you have bring peace to Bowser's Kingdom, basically getting the multi-moon. Then after you have gotten the multi-moon, the game is gonna give you 2 extra moons you have to get. But you just took them at the same time when you were doing the Bowser's Kingdom, so you don't have to collect any more moons.
Yeah. And Bowser's is interesting in that way where you don't actually, like in your first playthrough, you'll see outlines of the moons you need to finish a kingdom for every kingdom except for Bowser's Kingdom. Until you finish that Mecha Brutal boss fight, you actually don't know how many moons you're going to need to be able to take off on your Odyssey before then. But yeah, apart from all of the mandatory moons in Bowser's Kingdom, only 2 additional ones are required. And that's why, as we were talking about, Glory Hole got routed out.
Yep. The Glory Hole would have been in the Moon Charge section. Also, to interesting note that you can skip the multi-moon, the charge, but the electric fire is not active.
Yeah.
That is the reason why that moon is taken. And all of the others too. The electric fire is not active until you have taken the story moon. Let's see how Mutteri is gonna pull off the moon cave skip.
Yeah, hopefully he can get it relatively quickly. The moon skip is one that actually isn't. It's not too challenging. It's more so precise, and I don't know. It's one of those things where once you do just kind of like get a innate feel for it, it's harder to explain than it is to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. What do you mean?
See, I am noticing he's kind of rushing right now too, and what I would want to see from him right now is, you know, taking your time, line up your jumps nice and smoothly, get everything going well.
Yeah, I think he's doing the cap jump a little bit too
early. Yeah, so it looks like it.
So he's not getting enough hate.
Mm-hmm.
Get to position.
Yeah, you almost want to throw the hat once Mario actually is about to be falling down from the moon gravity. As silly as it sounds, it gives you pretty much the most height that way, because the hat being at the highest point that it can be at is the most important part of the moon skip jump, in my opinion.
Yep.
So when you jump off the hat too, it's like even if you're a little bit under it, your jump still will go off of the hat and will still be kind of like getting that extra boost. Even if you fall down a bit, as long as the hat is as high as the hat can be, then you're getting the most height you can out of that jump.
Also, if you drop the hat, you drop the gappy a little bit too close to the wall, the gappy will just go back to Mario and you're not gonna get the gap jump in.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're on the, like, almost at the nose of the Sphinx.
He just has to delay the jump, the gap jump a little bit, then he won't have it. He has the right angle and the position where he has to get the worst jump. He just needs the hate now. I think he just got it.
There we go.
On to church for Bowser fight. What do you think? Is he gonna go for the famous 2D shortcut?
You know what? I like to see it, but I don't think he's gonna try it. I think at this point, Mutteri probably wants to finish off what he can at this part of the run, get through there nice and safely, you know.
I feel the same. Yeah.
Hey, he is getting those nice hits off on Bowser.
Yeah. When you want to take the Cappy back with a Bowser's hat, you don't want to go too close to the Bowser because he will just take off the hat from you. Nicely done with the gaps. Now it's just one more hit.
There we go, and we're going to the famous 2D section. Man, do you ever do that when you're in the middle of this like end section? You're kind of spamming pause, trying to pass those cutscenes, but you kind of forget like which one's coming up next.
I've had that happen a few times.
Yeah, we had a moment like that with Pooh as well, I believe, during this race.
Oh, he missed the triple jump on the platform. As a quick backup though, if you get a double jump, you can scratch there, and that should barely make it up
Yeah, I've
there.
been seeing a lot of people pulling that off lately too, and I actually didn't know about that until very recently.
Nicely and safe with the 2D section. Now he's on the last section of the whole run.
Yeah, and one thing I'll mention too is, unlike most runners you've been seeing, he goes to the right, not only shooting his fireballs, but just in general for, you know, going with Bowser as well. Which, again, when you're you know, not trying to go for the absolute best strat, you know, sometimes the more safer way about it, that's actually not that bad of an idea. It's safe, you know. You even if you miss those fireballs, you're gonna get there nice and consistently.
Yeah, going from right side, very, very safe strat.
And here is the blast off.
GG's to Mutteri for finishing in 1 hour 42 minutes 33 seconds.
Yeah, that mech fight gave him a little bit of trouble there, but he stuck it out. He made it through, and here he is. I'm not sure if we're gonna... Is he gonna be coming in for an interview at all?
I'm not sure.
All right, we'll hang around for a few minutes and find out.
Has he responded?
Haven't heard from him yet. I think we might just be finished off for this race for the day then.
Seems like it.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, hey, good commentary. Thanks for hopping in today. Appreciate it.
Thanks to you too.
Yeah, and best of luck when the seeded part of the tournament starts.
Thanks, and good luck to your tournament matches too.
Thank you very much. All right, I'll talk to you later, dude.
Talk to you later. And don't forget to follow these runners putting on the effort. Also, don't forget to follow my commentary partner, X-Water.
And my commentary partner, of course, Samurai Man, who is also one of the top dogs of this game.
That's me. And before we forget, never forget to follow speed camming channels.
Yes.
Putting so much effort to any kind of tournaments, randomizers, and
we got like 5 different tournaments going on the channel at any given time. You know, there's Mario Odyssey happening right now, but we're also having Super Metroid stuff going on the speedrun channels, on the speed gaming channels. You know, there's been Link to the Past randomizers in the past, and right now there's tons of cool stuff.
There's tons of cool stuff that they have been doing, and more to come.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
All right. See you later, Samurai Man, and everybody watching. Have an awesome day.
Have an awesome day. See you later, X-Water.